The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. Yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Business Zone. It's Friday, September 28th. We are at the end of the month and it's right in the middle of fall, and we're moving into the holidays, which they came way too fast this year for me anyway, because the year is almost up. But welcome to the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. I'm Crystal, and Gilbert is on his way. He'll be here shortly. And it's actually Crystal, Gilbert, and Dawn. And Dawn has an amazing fun day tomorrow. She's got a red carpet event launching a talk show that she's going to be the featured celebrity fitness, resident fitness trainer. So we're excited about her. So I'll be doing that this weekend, and then she'll be back with us next week to share all this greatness that's going on. But again, welcome to the show. Today we have some great guests. We're moving into October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so I met this amazing young lady, and she's a breast cancer survivor. But out of that, she created a business. So we're going to talk about that. And that's what we're going to talk about, Rhonda. And yes, you should hang on. And actually, Rhonda, you should call in. And she's on Facebook Live. And if you want to call in, the number is 323-293-3375. And then we got to have you on the show next month. So we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about that. And I had this conversation with the second guest that's going to be on at an event that we hosted this week. And we were talking about how the cancer rate has increased, and and he was explaining to me the reasons and the causes behind that. So I think that's a conversation we need to have, especially from a business standpoint, because most of our small businesses are solopreneur businesses, and if you become ill, then that's really the end of all the efforts and the energies that you've put into creating this amazing business, and now you're the one that's sick and you can't continue on with your business. So we want to make sure that you stay healthy. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to stay healthy, how to eat, what you need to do to prevent any illness that would debilitate you from actually working in your business. But outside of that, then the other young lady, and here's how you create businesses. Businesses usually come about because you are solving a pain or a void that you've recognized, or the people close to you have recognized, and then you create a business out of that. And so she's done exactly that. Out of her experiences, she's created a business. And so actually, I did some research. And so some of the conversations we're going to have is what that looks like. And so there are a number of people that have come out of it and created these amazing businesses. And so I found this article before we actually get to talk to her, this article on a cancer patient that created a multi-million-dollar business just from her experiences with cancer. She had a rare form of lung cancer, and she also had 3 young children. She got divorced in that process, but out of that, she created a light. I think it is called. Let me see, what did she do? She found immediate comfort in the light of a votive candle holder her husband brought home from his candle blowing class. And she was inspired to create and start selling a line of votives. And over the next 3 years, she worked with various artists to perfect her designs before selling them out of her garage. And she also gave pieces and gifts to friends and acquaintances that were also battling cancer. And so out of that, Amazon picked up the product. And so they she now has a multi-million-dollar business from out of a pain that she was experiencing creating businesses. And sometimes that's exactly how it happens. A lot of us create our businesses, and they may be by default, but they are actually they're solving a need or a niche or a void in the marketplace, and that's how businesses are created every single day. Today in this world, in this marketplace, we have businesses that like Uber and Lyft, and those were all satisfying a need for individuals that didn't have vehicles of their own. And then in Los Angeles, we have taxis, but taxis are not your most prevalent vehicle to get around in. And they're also very costly, unlike living in New York or Chicago or any other metropolitan city. So Uber became very popular. And so a lot of people have just parked their vehicles, their own cars, and they're now taking Uber to get them to wherever they're going. So perfect business because it solved the niche with lack of vehicles and transportation. And we don't necessarily have the best transportation here in Los Angeles, where the train is coming, the metro train is coming, but getting around can be very difficult, and the traffic is insane. And so that made for a very viable business, Uber. So, and then of course their competition is Lyft. And so those are just how certain businesses are started. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. But where I left off last week, we were talking about, and this is important, and this is something that I want to talk about for the rest of the year, is how do we position our businesses to create an increase in our business, and to make sure that we're bringing in at least a 5 to 10, 15% increase in revenue or if not by the end of this year, at least proposing and setting goals to make that happen in 2019. Because there's so many things that you can do with your business when you increase your revenue. And a lot of our small businesses do not have the access to capital, which would mean loans and investors, depending on the nature of our business. So, but you can increase your own. You can increase your revenue with so many different ways. There's so many different ways to do that. One of the fun things we did this past week was I'm hosting a series of digital marketing classes, and that is the purpose of that class, is to teach you how to generate and create revenue with your website, with your blog, with affiliate marketing. Those are things that you don't even have to sell your own product. You're just creating an ad space on your website or on your blog and drawing traffic and redirecting traffic to your website so that those ads are now generating revenue for you while you sleep. So that's a way to do it. But we just have to open our mindsets and look at new ways that is happening in the business, in the marketplace, on how you can adapt it to your business. So, but the other way, if you're working with your own product and your services, a way to do that is increasing the average transaction size. So here's how you do that. Again, you have to bring in more customers to your place of business or to your website or to your online store to generate more income. But at the same time, you need to be able to create upsell items. So if you call let's say you call one of the companies that's selling a software product, and you're inquiring about that product, then they're going to answer that question. They're going to do the customer service. They're going to do everything they need to do. And then before you get off the call, they're going to ask you about another product they have. And that's what we call upselling. So, and then that upsell product will increase the actual transaction size or the transaction that you've actually, that they're buying from you. So how many of us have an upsell product? So if you call me about QuickBooks, which is one of the products that I actually, bookkeeping is one of my services, but I also will talk to you on your business in general, and I can actually upsell to me coaching you on how to increase your business or how to add another product or how you should be marketing your product. That's an upsell. So all of us in our business, we have some other product that we actually can develop, which probably doesn't cost you any more than what you're doing, and then create that upsell. So think about that. And next is increasing the frequency of your customer coming to you. So I was coaching a client yesterday, and we were trying to figure out how to increase or acquire awareness for a product that she's a project that she's working on. So we're thinking the traditional ways. She was asking, well, how do I get more people on my Facebook page? How do I get more people on my Instagram page? She didn't quite understand Instagram. What's the purpose of Twitter? So we're having that conversation. And so she was saying, this project is supposed to culminate by next year. And so I said, well, how are you going to bring in that large number of people just to even connect to what the product is, in addition to raising money for it? She goes, I don't know. And so she was thinking traditional ways. And then I suggested to her, because one of the project is creating houses out of shipping containers. And those shipping containers are going to then be filled with product and merchandise and food products and sent to Africa so that they can create housing in Africa in a village in Ghana. So I told her, we were talking and throwing out different ideas. And then I thought, a great way to increase the awareness of what she was going to do was create a contest. So those shipping containers or average about $600, but you actually people have created homes out of shipping containers, and is how they designed them. And so I told her, why don't you create a contest that young people, engineers and architect companies and small ones and schools, and they can compete to design the prototype of what one of those houses will look like. And then those individuals, and this could be across the world, because if you're doing it in Africa, it's international and it's global. And so that's what she's going to do. She's going to create a contest, and she's going to reach out to smaller architectural firms and engineering firms and schools who have internship programs, and let the students design the container homes. And then next year, when the African students come over, then they're going to have a competition. And then they're going to vote on it on social media. And now she's increased the traffic and the awareness of the product. And so she was excited when she left out. She was like, oh my God, I want to do this like right now. And just the idea that more people would be connected. And I told her that when you have a project where you're helping solve really serious problems, which would be homelessness and health issues, you can get people engaged to that, and people will come on board. Everybody's looking for a cause to get involved in. Sometimes you just don't want to take the initiative yourself, but if you extend an offer out to people to come help you with your product, and it's something that resonates within them, they will be glad to jump on board with you. They just don't want to do all the heavy lifting, and they don't want to do the creating. But if you open the door and say, okay, I need you to do this for me, a task-oriented request, they usually will do that. And at the same time, you're getting awareness, and you're getting ambassadors that are helping you get your message out to the public. So that's a way to think about it. Sometimes we want to hold our idea just to ourselves, and it's our own little private baby, and we don't want to tell anybody about it. But then that means only you're the only one that's working your baby, and that gets a little old, and you're not going to reach a large group of people that way. So get everybody involved. I think collaboration in my business and in business in general is really by far the best way to really run a business today, because there's so many hours in a day, And there's only so much talent that one person has. And when you expand that out to a collaborative partnership, you have their skill sets and your skill sets. And then you can address the weaknesses that you have with the strengths that they have. And that makes for much better business than you trying to do it by yourself. So with that, that's the tip for the week. So what we're going to do is take a quick break, and then we're going to come back with our guests.
Meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Welcome back to the Business Zone with Crystal, Gilbert, and Don. And today you only have Crystal, and then Gilbert is on his way in from the airport, so you will have him very shortly. But I want to introduce you to my guest. this young lady I met a couple weeks ago,
Yes.
and she came to one of the workshops that we were doing last week, the digital marketing workshop, and being that we are going into Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I thought it was a great entry into the month. So I want to introduce you to Deirdre Jordan. She's the creator and owner of Did It for Love natural homemade body products and skincare. 9 years ago, she was diagnosed with early stage breast cancer, and by the grace of God, she was healed. After recovering, she went back to her normal hygiene routine, and that was using antiperspirants and lotions and creams. She had an allergic reaction to her antiperspirant, so she threw it out. And she started researching and found that these products were chemical-based and full of toxins. Once they entered your lymphatic system, they can wreak havoc in your organs and all other cells of your body. So she started making her own natural deodorant out of shea butter, coconut oil, vitamin E, and other organic ingredients. And she shared it with her friends and family, and everyone started to tell her how they loved the deodorant and they wanted to buy it. So she went into a full force making deodorants to meet the demands, and she started using shea butter on her own skin, and it completely changed. Her skin was looking younger and more supple and youthful. And so today she has a line of body care and skincare products. So welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you.
And it's DIFL, which is Do It for Love.
Did It for Love.
Did It for
Yes.
Love. Well, fantastic.
Yes.
So, was there entrepreneurial stuff already there before?
Yes,
you
it
got
was.
sick?
Yes.
Oh,
First,
okay.
thank you, Crystal, for having me.
You're
pleasure to
welcome.
be here. But yes, no, definitely. Came from an entrepreneurial background. Parents had a business growing up. Different things. They traveled. They had bands. It was just an open, free spirit.
Okay.
So even in my work life, even though I worked in corporate America for years, I still had businesses on the side. So I was
Okay.
doing I was in multi-level marketing or had my own. I used to make jewelry,
Okay.
things like that. So, and I always sold on the side. But with this situation, this came about. I had no idea. I'd be making shea butter and natural products today.
Okay.
God is amazing. So
Yeah,
how
he is.
He'll turn those beauty into ashes. So yeah. So you read my story. Yes, when I was diagnosed, then and I was watching business programs and things like that. And one day, before I started the business, something prompted me. When I was in corporate America, they changed management. There were some things going on that basically weren't conducive anymore to, it was a lot of stress, a lot of things. It was just a difficult time. So they let several of us go. And so I was stuck with either finding another job or this is my time to maybe strike out on my own and pursue my entrepreneurial goals.
Okay.
So at the time, of course, I was making the deodorant. I was passing out to family and friends. Everyone was coming to me. They loved it. So I was watching a program, and it said, if you want to start a business, first of all, create a need, a service, and then start with something that you have. And so I'm sitting back. I'm like, what do I have? And I said, I have this natural deodorant. So from there, I just said, okay, let me start with that. My mother, she's amazing. She's still with me today. She's my best salesperson. But we started out, I said, how about let's go try to go get into a mall. And this was years ago.
Oh, okay.
So I met with someone at the mall, one of the leasing managers, and found out sticker price shock. I was like, I can't afford this right now to do it this way. But she gave me the greatest advice. And she said, well, we do have a farmer's market outside of the mall. Oh. Why don't you start there? That way you can build your clientele, So I said, great. So we started farmer's markets 2 years prior to me working in the mall now where I am. But so we started that and build a clientele that way. This is perfect for business people that don't have a lot of startup money. That's a great way to start. Farmers markets is great.
Like a kiosk on the outside.
Exactly. And the overhead is low on, you pay your fee and then you can pretty much sell your items and all that. So started there, and that was wonderful. Then I was discovered from a leasing manager from a mall. The mall I'm in now, Dilemma Mall in Torrance Fashion Center, they were using my products and didn't tell me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it was like a little test market or something. So they were using my products, and they came to me in 2015. They were like, hey, we love your products. You want to come into the mall? And I was like, oh, I'm not quite ready yet. But they waited. Then they asked me in 2016, and then I said, you know what? My mom was helping me, and she's like, let's go for it. Let's try it.
Okay.
So 2016, and then it was 2018. I've been in Del Amo Mall for 2 years.
Wow. Well, that's a great story.
Yeah.
Are you online as well?
I am. Diditforlove.com is the
Okay.
website, and there's wonderful products on there. Besides the natural deodorant, there's whipped body butter, which is a great, shea butter is so good for our skin. A lot of people, when it's been introduced to the U.S. and people kind of skimmed over it, but it's really a fantastic organic moisturizer that heals, hydrates, and improves our skin the more consistently we use it. So I create a lot of nice things out of that, and I make lip balms. There's natural soaps and things like that. But this deodorant has been life-changing. This is really because, with the antiperspirants, there's the commercial ones. They're full of aluminums, which is supposed to stop us from sweating. And that is the biggest no-no that our bodies can accept, because our body is constantly trying to remove toxins from our skin. And that's how we do it through sweat. So when you're putting something foreign to it, it's fighting you. So that way, so when it settles in the body, then it has since it can't come out, it settles somewhere, and that's where diseases can form, cysts and things like that. So with this in mind, this deodorant, no aluminum, and I put beautiful things in there for, there's an herbal antiperspirant, so it actually, keeps it's not stopping you from sweating, but it's working with your pH levels, and it's not an over sweat or anything like that. It keeps you fresh, it keeps you dry. My nephew is 15 now. He's been wearing it since he's 10.
Oh, really?
So,
a young man.
So young man. And so
okay.
children can actually wear it too. So it's just
and it keeps them fresh.
Yes, it keeps them fresh. As long as the kids washing, kids don't like to go to take a bath. So
as long as they're washing themselves.
Yeah, so as long as they're doing that and stuff, it is pretty effective. I have customers from 6 years old all the way to grown men. So so people that are athletic and things like that as well.
So because when we think of breast cancer, we're told to get our mammograms and to check ourselves once a month and so forth and so on.
Right.
But we're never really talked about the products that we're using. I don't think in even when I've gone to my doctor to have all my women, my annual
the breast exams and
everything. I don't think anyone's ever said anything to me about that.
It's interesting because the culture, in America, the capitalism, things like that, and it's just interesting how certain, I think like in government, like lobbyists, and there are certain things that, how many times do you see those commercials where there's been a recall on things,
Right.
But how do they get there in the first place, and they're in hand, they're pushing these products that unfortunately, they're mass produced, and the only way you can think about it, only way you can keep them on the shelves when you see expiration dates and things like that, you have to add chemicals or foreign substances to them to keep them preserved. And as opposed to a natural product with something as fresh as when you go to a farmer's market, if you buy vegetables, if you buy fruit, you have to eat and use those things right away because they're energy, they're fresh from the earth. So that's the same thing of the beauty products that we should be putting on our skin, like coconut oil, the shea butters, the vitamin E's. Those things are meant to be used right away and not sit on the shelf. So when those things are, those chemicals and things like that, that's where it becomes harmful to us because you start at a young age, as girls, we start at 12, 11, trying to put on our mom's makeup, trying to put on things like that. And you grow up, you keep doing that, and by the time, boom, you hit middle age or things like that, these things have accumulated in the body and they have created certain things, and I'm not a medical professional, but I'm just understanding from my own, you have to be your own advocate for your own health and your own mind.
Exactly.
And I recognize the things that have affected me in terms of chemicals and substances. So that's why I'm big on this awareness and getting this word out, and starting with the deodorant, because anything that enters our lymphatic system through our underarm is going straight into our bloodstream, and it's affecting the brain cells to our hormones, and we wonder why sometimes we have these outbursts, or we feel, women, we have all these things that we're dealing with, and they can be triggered by a lot of chemicals and things that we're eating or putting on our skin, and we don't know why, and we don't recognize it. We don't see it. So,
my girlfriend, Rhonda, she has an organization called Celebrate Life, and she too was diagnosed with breast cancer. In fact, she was diagnosed on 9/11.
Oh, wow.
And so she's now been, I think it's 13 years.
Oh.
And so her organization was birthed out of that.
Wow.
Because
Awesome.
one of the experiences she had was when she was going for treatment, was that she had met a lady that couldn't afford her treatment.
Okay.
It was between food and treatment, which obviously eating well is is a big part of being able to heal yourself, right? And so what she came out of that was you should never have to make that choice.
Yep. Oh, that's beautiful.
And so that's her awareness. And I think a lot of people who have had health issues and they survive, then you see life different.
You sure
Right?
do. Yes, absolutely. Yes. I mean, this woke me up totally. And I've always been a spiritual person, and just always went inside, introspect, to always change my life. So I always hit turning points where I say, okay, something's not working. Maybe you need to change. And so I've always been that type of person. So definitely when this happened to me, it was a huge light bulb. And I was like, okay, Deidre, you have children, you have a life that you want to live and things like that. So you have to start taking care of yourself and recognizing what you're doing. So this wakes you up there's so many things that people go through that can trigger that awakeness. But once you do discover that, that's where you start thinking about your dreams, your goals, and how, if you want to be a business owner, how, the time is now, to do that. Because this is something that, when you're sitting in front of a doctor and being told that you have breast cancer, you're like, I just saw, I'm going to die. I just thought my life was over. But thank God, God is a wonderful God that, my situation was caught very early. So I was able to, have the high percentage rate. If it is detected early, anywhere from 95 to 98%, you're going to live. So, so you can live. So from that, it's just an awakening into what is your purpose? What has God put you here to do? And you better do it.
Right, exactly. And the fear, because you've already, I guess the greatest fear is to be told, a diagnosis that could take your life. So now what is there to fear? And a lot of times business owners do have a fear of starting businesses. They have a fear of failure. They have a fear of success. Even some people have a fear of success.
Yes.
And so when you're met with something like life-threatening, then all those other fears go out the door.
Exactly.
Right?
It's like, well, you still have those fears, but you're going to do it. You're doing it. You're through the fear, because I had no idea I would be at this point today, and I'm just so grateful. But just starting at the farmer's market alone was scary, But I was able to talk and get the awareness out there, and it just has been expanding and growing by leaps and bounds, and now we're located in the mall. So it's just
and there's an awareness to it.
Yes,
right. Because generally, I think only back in the day, those individuals that were vegetarians and vegans, they're very conscious, hyperbolic about what they put on their body. So the crystal the crystal stone or rock or whatever it was, that was the only thing you heard as far as an alternative.
That's true.
To a deodorant.
Right.
I mean, you heard. You just, aerosol, period. So I know I did make that change, and I use, the cream deodorants. And I guess because I drink a lot of water, I can probably go every other day and making sure you shave and wash under your arms. So, I'm kind of fortunate in that manner. But you still don't think about that topical stuff, right?
You sure don't, yes.
Food, what you're supposed to eat and to chase away cancer radicals, cells. Right. But you never think of outside stuff.
You don't think of that. And if you look at the back of a lot of ingredients, there's big words, these chemical words that you cannot even pronounce,
Right.
And then if you you Google and break down that word, it breaks it down to actually say what it is. And some of them actually, are pesticides that we're putting on our skin. Some are things that they use to, just to kill weeds or to, preserve fruit or whatever, things like that. And you're not realizing that that's going on my skin. But the awareness of it all is introducing people. I love introducing people to this type of product, just being healthy, because it's about service. And I've always been that service-oriented person. I come from a service-oriented family. And when I can reach other women, men, children, other people, just to let them know something to think about. Like, hey, I know you've been on your favorite brand or you've been doing this for so long, but here's something different. Here's an alternative. Here's something new, and it's such a blessing when people come back to me and say that I have a customer. She suffers from eczema underneath her underarms.
Really?
Yes. And she's been on my natural deodorant for 2 years, and it totally cleared up her eczema altogether. So she's loyal, she's grateful, she's thankful. And that is the biggest reward to me because I know how it started out with it healing and changing my life. So I'm just sharing it, And so I think that's the biggest part of awareness and spreading the word out to people that I know we have so many things to choose from, but when you can find something good and natural and healthy for you, then it changes everything.
And so you hand make them?
I do. I hand make them. Absolutely.
Each and every
jar.
Okay. So what's the growth plan?
Wow. Definitely I want to start putting it in stores. So,
that
definitely
mass manufacturing.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So the Whole Foods and Sprouts and anywhere I can, the spas and, resorts and anywhere, gyms, things like that. So that is really my expansion plan, what I'm working on now, actually. So, and I've been getting
that process.
Wow. It's a lot of research. You have to find the right connections. It's networking, it's following up, and then sitting down with someone, and getting, letting them test it out, giving up all the information.
Now, did you have to go through the testing so you see what the shelf life? I mean, what is the shelf life?
Yeah, well, since it's a natural product, shea butter itself can last up to 6 months.
Okay.
So then once you start adding wonderful ingredients like tea tree, which is antibacterial, antifungal, it can preserve it. Yeah, it can preserve products a little longer. So a case like this, probably I would say I would start out 3 months, for something like a natural deodorant, something like that. And then, because if it extends any longer than that, then there's something in there that is not really the best to keep it preserving longer. Yeah, exactly. So I would say that. But shea butter itself, like I make these wonderful whipped body butters, and that can definitely last up to 6 months. Once I put them all together and stuff like that. So yeah, just the best stuff.
And so what's the entire line? What are the products do you have?
Of course, the natural deodorant. I also make lip balms. My lip balms. My gosh, I can't make those fast enough. There's cherry, there's apple, there's peppermint. I mean, I could pretty much make any scent or flavor you like, but they're full of great ingredients, and your lips are just moisturized, soothed, and healed. They're wonderful. I make the body butters. I make roll-on body oils. So they're natural essential oils. And then they have a little bit of coconut, vitamin E, different things like that you roll on. So you can pair them with, it's kind of like the Bath and Body premise. Like you can apply your body butter and then put on your roll-on. But in this case, it's beautiful natural ingredients that's improving your skin, giving you glowing skin and nourishment for your skin.
Well, your skin is absolutely beautiful. So
thank
you're
you,
using your own product. It is definitely working.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, it's just amazing. Can I smell it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
take
it smells good. Oh, yeah. It smells like you smell in spas. Oh, my. That's the tea tree?
Yes, tea tree in there. There's a little bit of frankincense and all that.
Oh, nice. Nice. And so now, I know you're in the class, the digital marketing class.
Which I love, by the way.
Are you loving it?
Yes, I am. I love it.
We have to actually have Armin come on the show because he is knowledgeable, isn't he?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, when I met him a couple of years ago. But how are you marketing now? What's your marketing strategy?
So right now, of course, with the social media, we have Instagram, Facebook, and I have my shops on my Instagram. And so you can, if you go on there, you can see a product. You could actually click, and it'll take you to my website. So I have the website, diditforlove.com. So that's the best way to order as far as getting it shipped to you.
Okay.
But yeah, Instagram, Facebook, and my website, diditforlove.com.
Okay. Now, did we create a business plan when we...
No. We did not. Everything happened so fast.
Oh, okay.
That was the thing because, but I'm in the process of doing that.
Okay.
So as you speak, because I'm launching, expanding, and going to the bigger companies now. So, but it's just been a labor of love, and I think people have, like I said, people were coming to me and just loving it. So it just really has taken off on its own. And so now I'm like, okay, I think I got a business here.
I think you do.
So let me move forward with it.
Yeah, because again, I can think of some other ways to mass market. Rhonda is asking, what do you know about ginger essential oils and healing?
Oh, ginger is wonderful because ginger is, I know I don't have it all in front of me right now, but I do take ginger myself because it's, first of all, ginger helps with digestion. So that's a good thing that it helps. And I think it heals, I think it even heals like in the stomach, stomach ulcers and things like that.
It's a very, the ginger itself does so many things, but mostly digestive.
So there's teas now out of it, of course, and you can put ginger in your food, things like that. But ginger is wonderful, especially even for survivors. Even turmeric is very good for us because a lot of the things in our body, even with cancer, it's about if your body is acidic. If you have an acidic environment in the body, that's what cancer cells feed on. So, and things that cause that are sugars. So if you eat a lot of sugar, no. That is just giving cancer the go-ahead to just infiltrate your body and everything. So if you can reduce the amount of sugar, which is hard because it's in a lot of products that we eat today, a lot of things. But sugar is something we should be abstain as much from, or keep out of your diet as much as possible. I know goji berries. Goji berries is amazing because it helps with inflammation. After my surgery, the doctor said, "Oh, I'm sorry to tell you, but you're going to experience chronic pain in your right breast because that's where it was, like for the rest of your life." And I'm just like, no, I don't accept that, Okay. So I start looking, into the more natural vitamins, and I discovered goji berries, and I take a liquid vitamin as a supplement.
Okay.
And it helps reduce the pain and inflammation in my breast area and throughout my body. So inflammation is huge, just huge in the body as far as contributing to like cancer cells and things like that.
Yeah,
so
I've read that.
Yeah,
my mom was diagnosed years ago with small cell lung cancer, and which is usually a cancer that it's very rapid. It's like pancreatic or one of those things where it moves so quickly. And so for her, what we did was we went into research mode.
Okay.
And once she was diagnosed, and she wasn't a smoker, so it's like, okay, where in the heck did this come from? But she was around secondhand smoke, which is actually more dangerous and more detrimental to your body than firsthand smoke. So my uncle and my brother and several of his friends were smokers, but she also was a stress. She kind of cultivated stress and worry a lot. And so we knew that. But one of the things we did was we went on a massive change how you eat, including me. And we changed to the sugars. And there was a book that we had written, and Dr. Vado Bay may tell us this when he comes up. There was a book that we had read called Garden of Eden. Okay. And when we read that, it was telling us, one, eliminate all the sugars. So I eliminated all the sugars in her diets and more greens. So we started eating all green foods and carrots and so forth. So by the time she did go into chemo, her body was so strong that that's not what did it. It was over the years, because she usually, I think the diagnosis or it's about a year for small, but she lived for 5 years. Okay, and then it moved. Then the cancer kind of metastasized in her bones, and they didn't catch it fast enough. And so then, and she still lived for 2 or 3 years after that. But it, one of her femur bone broke, and then she was now laid up. And then the other part of cancer is 95% of it is up here.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
And so you can fight, because your body's designed to protect itself, right?
That's right.
And to heal itself. And so if the mind is not there, if you don't have the mindfulness there to fight against it and you get depressed, then that's another issue. Exactly. And that's really what did it for her, because she couldn't move anymore. She was always a very mobile person. But as far as the food wise, we went on a massive throw out everything that could even think about creating cancer.
Right. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. And you're right, Crystal, that mind is half the battle because of course, I went through a bout of depression. Of course, hearing my diagnosis, I was like, oh, my
scary
goodness.
As all heck.
But I knew, relying on my faith and my upbringing and everything, I knew that God had the final say.
Right.
So, so from there, and the support of my beautiful family, just amazing people, just uplifted me, supported me, protected me, and through my prayers, through my meditations, through, seeing, when you meditate, you have to see yourself healed. You have to see yourself how you want to be. How do you want to look? How do you want to act? Whatever that case may be. What job, even extend it out to your reality. What jobs do you want? How do you want to see your children? Whatever. It all starts from within. And so, thank God for my situation being caught so early. I was able to keep myself from falling into that spiral of the depression. I got out of it. I saw my life ahead of me. I had the wonderful people around me, my children and things like that, to keep me motivated to move on. And the grace of God.
Reason to
yes,
live for.
Absolutely.
And then to create a product that now created a business that can take care of you and your family.
Absolutely.
That's a beautiful story. That's on the other side of the rainbow, right? And sometimes you get those those life sentences, but they don't have to be that way. They don't
have to be. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like
so that's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
So you have these big goals and dreams.
Oh yes, absolutely. Just to reach the world, and just one person at a time. But I'm on that side of for good. And whatever that may be, because it's just not just my skincare products, which I'm very proud of, but there's other dreams and goals that I have. So it's just going to be an expansion of Deidre and Did It for Love and things like that, and just helping people, period. As one time I wanted to be a psychologist and stuff like that, and just I'm a good listener. People seem to find comfort in talking to me, and so things like that. So there's so many different ventures and avenues I still have for myself. So.
Well, I would definitely introduce you to Rhonda.
Thank you.
Because from her side of, and that's what hers is about awareness and celebrating life. Awesome. So she does a lot of events. She has a number of them coming up this month, but she has a lot of events where she's honoring those individuals. I went to an event a couple years ago where she honored the husbands of the wives that had cancer, and their wives died, but now they were taking care of their children.
Wow.
So she uplifted them.
That's beautiful.
Which is usually not something that happens, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And that's very stressful in a marriage.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. I went through I wasn't 2009. I wasn't married yet, but the man I married, he was there for me the whole time, the whole process, and things like that.
Yeah, because she was telling me that's a big thing. A lot of husbands can't handle it.
Oh yeah,
and they end up leaving the wives because they just don't know what to do with the whole process and
that's true. Yeah,
the diagnosis.
Yeah, and if you're not communicating, it's hard, But I was blessed to have at the time. He was my boyfriend, but he helped me and stayed with me through the whole process, and I was very grateful.
That's fantastic. Because as a boyfriend,
yeah.
So that's what she does, and then she does. They have Zumba night, and comedy night, and game night, and she also will go with if it's someone that doesn't have family or a support team, because you do need that.
You
support
do need
team.
it. You absolutely do need it. Because there's a lot of people. I even had to go to. I went to a therapy group, and there were women in there who didn't have anyone, and we were able to support and love on her and let her know, like, I'm here for you. There's people right now that I know. There's friends that I know that are going through it, and I'm being there for them as best as I can, and giving them tips, information, and my, what helped me. So comfort, thing like that. So support is definitely a big thing. You know?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because when you feel alone, and that's what she does, is even if they don't have anyone to go with them for treatment, she'll go and sit with them.
That's
so I'm definitely going to introduce you to, because this is her mission as well. It was on the other side of, and that was what the commitment she made.
Awesome. That
no one would ever have to go through this alone.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then your product, and then she's got a outreach.
That's
and
beautiful.
She works at Charles Drew, and in the cancer research department.
Okay.
So that would be a good synergy for both of you.
Beautiful. Absolutely. Yeah. I would love to connect with her.
And I could actually see this, especially for women who have been healed, being distributors like an Avon or
absolutely.
Is that on
absolutely.
Mary Kay
Yes.
because that's gives them purpose, right?
Does.
And they can start their own business.
Exactly, and you're helping, and you're part of the healing movement, the awareness, just coming together in the sisterhood, and men and women too. Men are involved too. Don't think you're not. Because this deodorant is for everyone. It's a unisex product, so it's not just for women. So
and the skincare and body care.
Yes, I have wonderful moisturizers for men as well. So all across the board, lip balms that the whole family is really based. It's for the whole family.
Oh,
even babies, you can use on my products on the babies and stuff like that too. So I have a lot of children that suffer from psoriasis and things. So I have a natural soap and along with the body butters and stuff like that, and the children heal nicely from it as well.
Oh, fantastic! Well, I am just so proud of you, and I'm glad I met you and your sister. And she's gonna get her on the show.
Yes, she's gonna get on. She has a great book, Speak Your Week, April Jordan. So
and you guys we're gonna have a great time in the digital marketing.
Yes, we are.
Just
I love
watching
it.
you as you and I think that's what Armin is doing. He wants to see the results of individuals that can definitely touch and feel the outcome like immediately.
Right.
Because I can't wait to get to the $70,000-$80,000 a month.
You and me both, Crystal. I was like, this is why I'm here. To learn how to do it. Now,
before the class, did you have any idea?
I had no idea. I didn't know exactly. Because Candace Simmons, she invited me. So, hi, Candace. But she invited me to the class, and I was just so grateful because and I brought April, and I was like, this is what we've been looking for. Because we just, at home, April's working on her book, I'm working on these products, and we're doing everything ourselves.
Right.
So when you just said about a community, a network of people, when we found you guys, we were like, this is the next level. This is the next step. And we've been so grateful. So it's been an amazing class. I love it.
When we start really creating and driving the traffic. Because I was telling somebody yesterday, I said, everybody knows they have to have a website, right? Mm-hmm. But that's it. I just got to have a website. And that website is primarily to show that you're credible.
Right.
That you're just not some fly-by-night person that's working out your trunk. But no one has ever, that secret, it was a deep, dark secret, was like, no, you use your website to make more money.
More money, right.
And not just to sell your product, but to make more money.
Right.
So one of the guys that was at the class, he goes, oh, this is what I'm talking about, the ABCs on how the map,
That's right.
the treasure map.
Yes, that's what's been missing. And for me, it's been crazy because now I'm at that point where that light bulb has finally gone off for me because primarily I was just out trying to help people. It wasn't even about the money for me. It was like, I just want to get this out to help people because there's so many people that are unaware and your life can change instantly, right?
Right.
So now that I'm in here, I'm making this stuff, I'm in the kitchen, I was like, I got to figure out how to keep this going, So, I need some money, So, anyway.
Yeah, and that will help. Oh, my God. Because because it's going to be, you're going to have an investment to get you to that place.
Exactly.
That you can get capital to go up to a mass manufacturing.
Right.
Because you got to be able to do, I have this is a mentee of mine, and he's doing the mass distribution for his products. Nice. And there's some steps that have to take place, and there's some money. There's an investment that has to be made. Mm-hmm. So,
and I feel I'm at that next level, which I believe God is a wonderful God because your path and your journey, whatever you're looking for, is looking for you.
Yeah.
And we found you guys. So, so I believe everything is happening exactly how it's supposed to happen.
Well, there you go. Well, and we're happy to be here with you as you guys rise to the top. It's going to be fun and exciting. And Armin is committed to it. So
He's wonderful.
That's a good thing.
Yes,
so
it is.
Looking forward to the class next week.
Yes, me too.
Well, it's been a great interview, and we're at 4 o'clock hour. We're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to introduce you to my co-host who just came in from Vegas. And now Gilbert, we'll have to have it because we got another guest, but Gilbert actually does minority certification. He helps you get your certification. Okay, so that's how you can contract maybe with some of the big corporations.
Oh, wonderful.
That in
Absolutely.
contract, so he can have some conversation with you on what you need to do to get prepared for that while you're doing all that other stuff.
Oh, wonderful! Thank you.
Well, thank you for being on the show.
Thank
so
you
we're
very
going to take a quick break. We're going to take a quick picture, and then I'm going to give you a copy of the video so you can put it on your newly made website and blog or whatever it is you got going to do. And we're going to see you at the top.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you,
All righty.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186. Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
And we are back with the Business Zone with Crystal and
Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic.
So Mr. Gilbert was out doing his thing in Vegas.
Thing in Vegas.
How was your flight?
Oh, the flight was good this time. It was good. Trump wasn't there interrupting things.
He's on the East Coast fighting with all that other craziness that's going on in D.C. this week. It's a very stressful week, man.
Oh, yeah. So this is good.
So that's good. Well, we're glad to have you here.
Thank you.
And we have a great guest. You missed it. Well, you got to talk to the ladies on the tail end. But I thought when all of these individuals are in the digital marketing class with us on Wednesday.
Oh, good.
And so when I was talking to Deirdre and she was talking about her product and why she created it, so she created a business, out of a pain point, which we talk about all the time. Good. And then I was talking to Mr. Battle Bay. Now, does that name sound familiar to you?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, Marva.
Yeah. So yes.
So a bell went off. I went, wait a minute, because I had not met him, and Jackie had met him, and so
the man to the woman.
Right. So we got into a conversation about cancer. It seems to be a higher rate of cancer.
Yeah.
And when you get to a certain age, and a lot of us, our business owners are 50 plus, and I'm just hearing so many people that are being diagnosed with all types of cancers.
It's crazy.
And so we had a brief conversation. So he's going to share with us what we need to do and to turn or redirect or
to minimize our
exposure and our risk, to the cancers, and then he's just going to tell us overall what he does.
All right.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the Business
Dr.
Zone.
Stephen Battle Bay.
Greetings. It's a pleasure being here. It was a pleasure meeting you all. You put me in an environment that I like to be in because I don't like to pre-program life.
Okay.
Because life naturally unfolds.
Yeah.
And you have to unfold with life through your faith.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not through your fear.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you unfold in a state of fear, you begin to short breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're panicking.
Yeah, just like when you're in the water, you're drowning, you start panicking, you die faster, you drown faster.
And because of the panic that we are going through in today's society, we don't get sufficient oxygen circulated through the body.
Mm-hmm.
If the body is well circulated with oxygen, very few diseases will grow.
Oh.
Because where there's oxygen or air, there's fire. And fire will burn because the body will detox itself automatically if it is given the proper ingredients.
Yeah.
And to understand that well, we have to look at the cycles of life. There's summer, fall, winter, and spring. Life lays dominant, and many things look dead in fall and winter. But when the electromagnetic field changes and the universe blesses us with water, rain, then the sun comes and warms it. That's when a new life begins. The same process happens in the human body. There's a time and a season for all things under the sun.
It's true.
We did know the time that we were born, and we won't know the time that we are to die.
Right.
But we were given a choice of when to live and how to live. But we never have taken the time to know the proper time to do the proper thing. And most of us are 90% late. When you are late, you are like a stray animal in the great safari. You're caught by the lion. You're caught by disease. You're caught by a calamity because you left the herd. You left your sphere of power. Your sphere of power is moving at a certain vibration and a certain frequency, which is your wavelength. And when your wavelength changes, the cells within your body changes because your brain is not sending messages to send enzymes, hormones, and certain chemicals through the body to do what is needed for the body to cleanse itself, feed itself, and to rejuvenate itself. And we do the wrong thing at the wrong time.
Yeah.
We put much emphasis on what to eat, but not enough emphasis on when to eat. It is more important to know when to eat than what to eat.
Oh, really?
And I'll give you a good example. Grandma made bacon and eggs and orange juice, coffee, and anybody know if you mix coffee and orange juice together, you cause acidity. But Grandma never suffered from acid reflux.
No.
And all of these other things that we're suffering from today. Because the body will adjust and adapt if you have the right state of mind. And Grandmama's mind was steered on the universal creator.
Yeah.
That universal creator will get me through. Today, we have gotten to the state that we don't depend. I was thinking before I came here today that I'm coming here today, and one thing that I wanted to be thankful for, that most folks have forgotten to give thanks for, that today is Friday. Today is Friday. It is the most important day of the week. It is the day that you should give the greatest thanks and praise of all the days in the week. Because man, the top of all creation was created on a Friday.
Oh, okay.
Adam was created on a Friday. But we've changed the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
So we have gotten out of tune with nature. And my premise is that you can live for weeks without food, days without water, but 12 minutes without oxygen we're either dead or brain dead. And that's why when the ambulance come to pick up either of us, the first thing they're going to check to see if you're breathing and if you're bleeding. They'll stop the blood with a tourniquet, and they give you oxygen. If oxygen don't get you to the hospital, there's not a drug in the hospital that can save you.
That's true. That is true.
Okay.
That's deep. That's very deep.
We need to spend more time looking at oxygen and breath as a medicine. And to keep breathing and using oxygen as a medicine, we must become a more humble, a more tolerant, a more peaceful people. We must go back and read in depth the story of Job, that he looked at all his years, that he had so much abundance, and how well he was, how well his children was, his wife, and then he was stricken with a disease. He said, all the good that I have, if the Creator gives me this, it must be for a purpose. I will learn my lessons, and I go through, and I'll see at the end what it is. And he didn't know at the end that he would get everything and more, manyfold, that he had lost. And that is the lesson for us, to learn patience. Not patience when you want to have patience, but patience at all times.
Yeah.
The most patient man in the Bible, Job.
Yeah,
Yes.
he is. He went through so much. And it's interesting because, as entrepreneurs, usually we are very impatient. We don't sleep well. We don't take out moments for self. Yeah. And I was doing some research before the show, and some of the most successful entrepreneurs out there, the ones today, not from old school corporations, and some of them will take 6 o'clock in the morning, and for the first hour, it's just about meditation and breathing and Beautiful. Reading and centering themselves Beautiful. Before they actually start their day.
Yeah, I'd like to make a point of that. Everybody prays. Everyone prays different. All religions have a ritual of prayer, but it's very similar. If you study Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. But the greatest prayer and the greatest time of day to pray is when most folks don't pray.
And that is?
That is between 3 o'clock in the morning and sunrise.
But 3 o'clock is actually an interesting time because a lot of people wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
But they won't go and pray.
Yeah. I have a lot of friends that they wake up, and I don't care where they are, but they say that's your most spiritual time is at 3 o'clock in the morning.
The angels are low, and your lines are open. There's no busy signal.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
And if you would get up that time of morning and ask your Creator for what you want, wash up, clean yourself, and go before Him with a clean heart, inside and out, and you ask Him, He will give it to you.
Let me ask you this question, because maybe you can answer this. Most people die during that time, from midnight to morning, like early morning. Why is that? Most people get sick during that time. They die during that time.
I have studied that, but I don't have the full statistics in front of me. But one of the reasons is the circulation and oxygenation is the lowest at that time. Because while you're active all day, the body is warm and you got circulation. At that nighttime, the body gets cold. And it's your fall and your winter. It's your death and your near death. Daytime is your spring and your summer. If you look at a child, their skin is so moist. And they want to run, they want to jump. You look at someone that passed 60, as a rule, the skin becomes a little dry and a little wrinkled, and they don't have that energy. And this is why that I have most of my patients to sleep with socks on when they have circulatory problems, and especially in the wintertime. Because if I can keep the warmth within their body rather than letting it go out through the feet, which is the furthest from the heart, it increases their health, and it helps to maintain and
circulation,
preserve their health.
Yeah. I get that. I've been wondering too, because a lot of people die between midnight and say 4 or 5 in the morning. And I've always been trying. That's when your body is relaxed. It doesn't use that much energy because you're either sleeping or relaxing. And I'm going, but if you're relaxing, why do you get sick? Why do you die? But based on what you're saying, that's the fall and the winter. Right?
Yeah, and another factor that we have to take care of, that grandmother taught me, and as I went to take my medical courses to get my naturopathic degree, that the hours that you get to sleep before 12 o'clock at night is your true sleep. Any sleep that you get after 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the morning, you're not sleeping. You're dreaming.
Yeah.
And if you dream shocking dreams that a monster is chasing you, you can have a heart attack in your dream.
Yeah, I believe that.
And a lot of things happen in your dreams that come from death because of fright.
The reason I believe that, a lot of times I wake up with a headache because of what I'm dreaming. Yeah, I'm dreaming like I'm being chased by a lion or whatever.
Oh, my.
And I just have this pounding headache when I wake up and go, what's going on? So
you haven't slept, and you don't sleep well anyway. You don't get enough sleep at all.
Yeah.
So as a naturopath, so what are the, because we talked about this, why the rate of cancer seems to be such much more prevalent than it was 10, 15, 20, 30, 40. My grandmother lived to be 102, and when she was 70, no, she was actually 80 when she came to live with us. And we took her to our doctor, for our primary care doctor. And he was going, asking the questions because this was his first time seeing her, right? And he was an internist, and he was saying, well, are you on this medication and this medication and this medication and this? Because at that age, you're supposed to be on somebody's medication. At least they think you're supposed to be on somebody's medication. And she goes, no, I'm not. And so my grandmother lived in Alabama. She ate fresh fruits and vegetables that were raised in her garden. And she was a 7-day Adventist, so she actually was a vegan. Wow. And so with that, and she was very active. She walked and she went to school and she kept her mind sharp, and she even got her she didn't graduate from high school. So when she was in her 60s, she went back to school to get her and did her GED. Wow. And she owned a business and raised 13 children and all that sort of stuff. So when she died, and she probably would have even been here longer if they had to put her, senility came and they put her in a facility that wasn't conducive for who she was, and she couldn't go to church and she couldn't do what she was doing. Right. So her health started to deteriorate. But he kept saying, how do you not take blood pressure medication? How do you not take this? And she didn't. She was still tall. She stood as tall. She was 5'8", and he couldn't figure it out.
Because it was against his norm. His norm was that those things were supposed to happen because that's what he probably induced on his patients or what happened in that environment. So he's expecting that.
Right. And I found that, when I got past 50, all of a sudden, I think you need to take blood pressure medication.
Yeah, exactly.
Why?
Exactly.
I mean, first of all, you don't even know what my day is. I think if you're going to prescribe blood pressure medication, you should see what type of day I have. And at the time that request was made, I was taking care of my mother. I was caregiving my mother. Mm-hmm. And so I had to make sure before I could even get to the doctor that I had someone to stay back with her. And then you're running to get it. So don't be just saying I got blood pressure problems and you don't know my story, right?
Yes, and you very well could have blood pressure medicine, but what type high blood pressure do you have? Is it chemical induced, or is it stress induced? Or is it a combination of the two? If you put water on the stove, it will boil over.
Mm-hmm.
But if you turn the fire down, it will just simmer.
Right.
So if you're under a lot of pressure,
Mm-hmm.
your blood pressure is going up.
Right.
Anyone who gets angry and want to fight, the blood pressure is going up. Anyone who constantly runs up and down flights of stairs because they're hyperactive, the blood pressure goes up. Anyone who eats the common American salt, that all of the minerals have been taken out of it and have been bleached white, and one mineral have been put back in it, is iodine. The salt does not have the electromagnetic field and frequency that it should have to stimulate nerve interaction. And you were speaking earlier about fresh food. We know in our religious law that we should bury our dead within 3 days. If you should bury your dead in 3 days, if your food is more than 3 days old, maybe you should bury it too.
True. True that, but we're buying it in a store. We don't know how long they've
6
kept.
months old. It's been in the supermarket from the nearest farm. It was shipped up, put in a big warehouse. It stayed in the warehouse for a week, then was shipped to the local stores, and then in the local stores it sat in the back room until Thursday or Friday, and they just sprayed it with water to make it fresh. And the more water that you put on it, the more it becomes depleted of its natural enzymes.
So we're not getting the nutrients from our food.
We're not getting the nutrients from our food. And if we were, and those who are closer to getting it, the natural enzymes in our food is not metabolizing and burning because we're under artificial light.
Interesting.
You must be stimulated by the stimulator, and that is the sun.
The sun, okay.
When dark-skinned people, women, first began to come to me and said that the doctor wants to put them on vitamin D.
They just need to go outside.
Because they were vitamin D deficient. And it took me a few hours to consider that. And I told them, well, I don't want you on a synthetic vitamin D. I'll put you on cod liver oil. And I will recommend for right now that you go out and get 20 minutes minimum of sunlight a day. Well, 2 or 3 of them did that, went back to the doctor, and the doctor says your vitamin D deficiency is fine.
Yeah, because you get that vitamin D comes. And I always thought that was kind of weird. I have friends like, oh yeah, they put me up. Why? Just go outside. The sun, in California, the sun shines 365 days a year. I just don't even understand that prescription.
It was hard for me to understand, and I had to sit back and listen to my patients because I don't ignore anything that they say. I have to learn why they're saying it. And after I thought about it, most of these women that came to me with this situation were master's degrees. They went to work early in the morning. No. They went into the 21st floor of this particular building, and they were there until the sun went down. Oh. So they never got any natural sunlight. And once I figured that out in my head, then I knew how to treat them.
Yeah, to go outside at lunchtime and walk for 30 minutes.
Yes.
And then come back in and you have your natural...
So that's where the deficiency comes from, huh?
Yeah.
Because they've been cooped up in that building all day.
And you don't get any fresh vitamins with vitamin A and D in it because most of your vitamins have lost most of their nutritional value because it's been canned, frozen, or set on the shelf waiting for you to come and get it.
Yeah.
That's not the truth if you go to the farmer's market.
Right.
Farmer's market was basically picked yesterday or this morning, and they bring it in, and you buy it fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And the farmer's market is so stress relieving because no one hollers at you. You jumped in front of me. I was first. At the farmer's market, I mean, you just go. And
It's neighborly. It's more communal.
More community.
It's
more
more-
relaxed.
It's
Right.
more community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not in a hurry.
Yeah.
This is an outlet.
And you find yourself striking up conversations with people you don't even know. It's like, hey, you have that? Oh, I've been thinking about that. Where are you from? You know, you start having that conversation.
And it's interesting because in other countries, that's how they shop, right? They go to the community square,
yeah.
and the food is out. In Jamaica,
Yes.
Gilbert's from Jamaica, and the
Yes.
food is out open. You go to the market every day
Yes.
and you pick up your food, right?
Exactly.
This is the way we all did it before we got civilized. And I tell people,
Civility is going to kill us.
I tell folks that I don't want to be civilized. I'm a cultured person. And I will maintain my culture. I will culture my grapevines. I'll culture my fig trees. I will trim and prune them.
Thank you.
But civilization seems to be the death and the detriment of mankind.
Right.
Because instead of emulating nature and the best of your parents, you begin to imitate a fool.
Yeah, that's true.
And this is bad and dangerous.
Yeah.
You don't want to eat your mother's cooking anymore.
Yeah.
You don't want to hug and kiss your mother anymore. You lose self-respect
Yeah.
for family and neighbors.
Yeah.
And they are building more hospitals and more jails. But they say our crime is going down and our health care is getting better.
Really? Really. So you mentioned earlier in the conversation that it's certain times we're supposed to eat. Does that mean that our body is getting most of the nutrients at a certain time? So what are those times? Because I know as entrepreneurs, we eat on the run.
Yeah, we eat on the run like crazy.
It's best to eat the time that most animals eat, and it depends on whether you are a vegetarian or whether or not that you're non-vegetarian.
So that means that's nighttime then, because most animals eat at night.
Most animals don't eat at night.
Oh, they don't?
No.
Really?
Your cows, your horses, everything.
When do they eat? Like early morning? Like
All day they are grazing.
They're grazing all day. I've heard that.
They chew their cud around 3 or 4 o'clock. They eat a little bit more, and they go and drink water. And they go and find a place to rest. And they go to sleep. Your chickens, your fowls, your mammals, your cows. The only one who eats in the dark or near dark is your meat eaters. The lions, the tigers.
Carnivores.
Yes. They'll go out and make a kill because they're eating secondhand vegetarians.
Okay, I hadn't thought about that, but that's absolutely correct.
They don't have to eat anymore for 2 or 3 days because it takes that long for that type of protein
To digest.
to digest and go through the system.
Yeah.
And you don't find that the vegetarians have as much as rheumatoid arthritis, and other conditions of the joints because they don't have as much uric acid within the system.
No, because their foods are processed immediately and they're not
Yes.
staying in the body for any long period of time like it takes to digest meat.
Right.
So that's really why you should
That's
eat
it.
meat. Okay. Now, what causes your body to be acidic? Is that just the way your body is? And then with stress and all that other stuff, it kind of exacerbates it.
It is natural to be acidic,
Okay.
and especially the stomach is acidic
Okay.
because it has to be acidic to break down meat proteins. And most of us are meat eaters. What happens that we are artificially acidic because we're drinking soda pops with a lot of acid. We're eating stale meat and stale foods that turn to acid.
So when we eat manufactured acidic product and that mixes with the natural acids within the stomach, then that creates that reaction.
A very nasty type of acid.
Yeah.
And could that be why also, because, there are people, I have a very high level of activity all the time. I work out like 4 or 5 times a week, and then I'm, working and moving and whatever. But as you get to a certain age, your body still holds on to weight. And even though I'm, thinking I'm eating properly, and I'm definitely active, but it still doesn't come off like it was when I was younger.
Takes longer to burn. Yeah.
Well, some of that is that your metabolism slow down, and you have to change the time that you eat. You have to eat more mornings and late afternoons, not evenings and nights.
Okay, so everything should be done. I should be finished eating by, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock in the afternoon?
By around sunset, not after sunset.
Okay.
Sunset. The chickens are getting ready to go to roost.
Okay.
That's around about 6 then. 6 o'clock.
Yeah, about 6. It all depends on the season. Another reason why that we don't lose weight, and especially speaking of women, and it's somewhat true for men, is because we have hormonal imbalances that we never took care, and we went into menopause, and that hormonal imbalance was not taken care of.
How do you take care of your hormonal imbalance?
Well, you come to me and I will ask you certain questions about when you were 15, 16, 20, 22. Was it 3 days? Was it 7 days? Did you do a lot of cramping? Was it clotting, etc., and so on? And then I'll know what type of herbal formula to put together or what type of homeopathic to get together. And then I know where to stimulate up and down the spine to get more blood flow and oxygen into that area. And then we have to know that we have impeded a lot of our circulation because grandmama had 9, 13, 20 children. She's just not get sexually aroused and not go through the whole flow. We use birth control pills. Now we have the mental thought of going through the whole flow. We're seeing and imagining all of this, but we don't want to go through the whole flow and have the children. So the breast never swells up, and just a lot of things that should happen in your life that does not happen, and the body will turn into a disease state.
Well, we definitely want to hear a lot more about this. So we want to go ahead and take a quick break, our final break of the show, and we'll come right back so you can expand on this a little bit. So you're on the Business Zone with
Crystal,
Gilbert Buchanan, and our very special guest,
Miss
Dr. Battleback.
Dr. Battleback.
Battleback.
So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and take a break right now. So we'll be right back. And if any of you are tuning in, you're listening to this program and you want to participate, you want to share your specific situation, give us a call. Our phone number is 323-293-3375. That's 323-293-3375. Take a break.
See you shortly.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic, and we're here with Dr. Battlebay.
So he's trying to tell us how to stay healthy.
I know.
Doing what we do and making the body work the way it's supposed to work.
And you notice my ears perk up.
I know,
right?
perked up.
Because this is stuff I want to hear, because I want to figure out how, because I've been feeling some things. And I know it's not normal. So I'm going, okay, I need to do some things. So I need to speak to an expert like you. So
to tell you what you need to do.
And you need to go back and speak to your grandmother because you came from out of an environment. I have many Jamaican patients.
Yes.
I've had many Jamaican patients when I was in New York.
Yes.
They come for the environment.
Yeah.
I had many Jamaicans sick with colds and pneumonia in New York.
Yeah.
Man, I ain't going to give up my hot spice, man. I said, if you don't give up your hot spice in New York, it'll open up your pores, cold go in, and you're going to die.
Yes.
You have to change your diet according to your environment.
Right. See, I would love to reach back to my aunt, my grandmother, and grandparents, but they're not around, so there's nothing I can get from that. So I guess you're the closest thing to that.
Their wisdom is still here.
That's true. That is true.
Because their wisdom was in nature, and they followed the laws of nature.
Yeah.
And those who follow the laws of nature are healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was why my grandmother truly, come from Alabama, followed the laws of nature. She ate healthy.
Yeah.
They hate Ellen's reason cutting you off. Most of them in Pennsylvania, Virginia, North Carolina area that I'm familiar with on the East Coast, they all bought an almanac or was given an almanac. And they followed the almanac. They planted by the almanac. They harvest by the almanac. They knew moon sign. They followed the cycles of life.
Right.
We don't have a clue.
You don't see much of that anymore.
And that would be from our ancestors, from African
ancestors,
right?
Yeah.
That's where that's really coming from.
Primary all over the world. This is the way primary means number one.
Right, exactly.
And you don't want to be primitive.
Yeah. Right, exactly. So we've become so sophisticated that we're killing ourselves. And because you wonder, it's like, okay, I don't understand why so many people are just, every time dying cancer or heart problems or what have you. Even people that supposedly are healthy or supposedly that I got just as many people that friends that are died that are vegans or vegetarians as those that are carnivore. So it's not just that. Is something else, but we must be operating against, like the Indians. You had to be working within the seasons.
Yeah, we're operating outside of the season.
Yeah.
That's
You have
what
to
it
work
is.
within the seasons.
Yeah.
And what people are marketed as being healthy is marketing.
Yeah.
I've had many vegetarians that don't eat vegetables.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
You're vegetarian, but you eat string beans. You don't eat peas.
yeah.
Yeah.
They eat chips. As long as it's not dairy,
I
they
know.
eat chips. I see them. They eat all kinds of junk food, and
Macaroni.
Yeah.
Spaghetti.
That's true. That is
I
true.
said, you're vegetarian. You don't eat vegetarian. I was a vegetarian.
Yeah.
I didn't have much money. They came to my table. I was about 14 years old. They said, you're a vegetarian? I said, I guess so. They said, what you mean? So you always eat all vegetables. I said, yeah, I'm a vegetarian. But I ate vegetarians because I was working my way through high school, and I wanted to save some money so that I could take care of my debt.
Yeah.
So I would just get a plate of all of the vegetables.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful. Later on, I became a raw food vegetarian for a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
And both times I was a vegetarian, it was a great high for me, spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be a whole nother subject
Yeah.
of what it is. But when I was a vegetarian, I ate vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of them don't eat vegetables. Salads, they'll eat some lettuce.
But not much, and they don't eat bitter lettuces. They eat iceberg. They don't eat the dark, green, rich
Oh, okay.
ones.
Mm.
I tell people, if you look out and you don't see, or if you do see green in your environment, you know that's water.
Mm-hmm.
If there's water, there's life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're all created
Yeah.
out of water.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where the word passport comes from.
Water, huh?
Yes.
Over the water.
Yeah, your mother had to let you pass through the port.
But yeah, we don't eat with reason, I guess.
We don't eat thoughtfully.
Yeah.
And my whole job as a human being is to help you maintain and preserve the gift that the Creator have given you,
Yeah.
and to give it back to Him as beautiful as He gave it to you.
And that requires work.
Because your death should be as sweet as your birth.
Mm. Interesting.
Meaning peaceful.
It should be peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
It should be joyful. People should be joy that at last they have been taken back home.
Mm.
Right. And that's why when people do pass and they're in their late years and they're not going by any illness. My grandmother it was 102 and it was just time to go.
Yeah.
And so it was not like she was ill.
Yeah.
It was just time for her to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they know. They can tell.
Mm-hmm.
They know. One of my aunts told me that I'm not going to rust away.
The rest.
And she lived up until her last moments in her 90s. She was flying all across the country, visiting grandchildren and
Yeah.
everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's attitude.
And yeah, that is. And I think, it's when you some people in their mind, they feel they get to a certain age and that's it. They start acting that age. So whereas you see someone 65 and active, there's a lady that plays tennis with us every Saturday, and Claudette is 7. She's going to be 80 in July. And she is just as useful. She hits the ball. She is playing with us, and she's running up and down the court. She's not limping, and she dances 2-3 times a week. She loves to eat because by 11:30 she goes, oh, it's time for lunch, and she eats early in the morning, full meals, and she's a little tiny thing. Mm-hmm. But I told her, I said, you are like an icon for the 80-year-old or the 79-year-old because she moves with ease. Nothing is is creaking. She runs, and she goes, and so something she was saying, she goes, I have to come out with you guys because all my friends feel that they're supposed to be old. And they're sitting in wheelchairs and walkers because something told them they were old. She goes, I'm not old.
State of mind. That's what it is.
And it's a state of mind. And unfortunately, the dark-skinned people have developed a state of mind from fairer-skinned people from Europe.
Yeah.
Dark-skinned people have been living to be 100 years, 140 on in the last 2 centuries. Before that, we've lived into the hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
It was the European model that was dying in this country and in Europe in their 30s, their 40s. We did not have that problem. Many of the slaves that they brought here, they thought they were teenage boys. And those men were 40 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They were 40 years old.
Yeah.
They thought that they were like 18, 19 years old. So they didn't feel disrespect to call him a boy. Because he looked like a boy. He acted like a boy. He ran like a boy.
Yeah.
So they didn't know. In fact, I saw something, with the racism being what it is today, and it's so so out in the open. A young woman, put up. She goes that she was very resentful that black women didn't show their age, and that she was whatever age she was, and she kind of did a comparative picture with a black woman that was around the same age, and that black woman looked like she was a teenager, and this one looked like she was somebody's grandmother, and so my philosophy behind that is God knew that life was going to be a little tough for us. And so he said, I'm going to make sure y'all don't ever look like you in all of this struggle. And no matter what you're going through, you will always look youthful. I think that's his gift to us, because we don't look our age.
And we talk about Jesus quite a bit, but we don't live the words.
No, we don't.
That I would like to be lived. And you just made me think of something that I've read in the Bible, that he said, fast, but you don't have to let everyone know that you're fasting. You don't have to look like you're fasting.
Yeah.
It's not nobody's business. You're not fasting for them.
Right.
Yeah.
So that they'll see that you're fasting. You're fasting for your Creator. And you don't have to look like it. You don't have to act like it, because I will preserve you and you'll look like you're not fasting. You're fine.
Yeah.
And we have to go through our tests and trials and know that we are fine.
Yeah.
Because our trials is not a test. It's an opportunity for us to build into the next world, because we build and grow a physical body, and then you grow an emotional body, and then you grow your spiritual body to go into the spiritual world.
Interesting.
And we don't understand that we need spiritual food to be healthy. We have to have emotional food to be healthy, and we must have physical food to be healthy.
Right.
And on that, we have 3 forms of intercourse. We have physical intercourse to reproduce our own kind. We have emotional intercourse so that we can produce those who have sympathy and mercy and compassion for us. And then we have spiritual intercourse, that we can go with those that are like mind, that believe in the oneness of the all-powerful Creator, that He is always able to take care of all our needs.
That's true. That's so true.
And once we go through that, we don't have to worry about being lifted up. We will be lifted. And you had mentioned the difference between inspiration and motivation. A young Spanish fella came to my office one day, his second visit. He had heard a lot about me, but he didn't necessarily find all the things so exciting that he heard about me. So second visit, he sat in a chair and asked me, "Do you like music?" I says, "I'm not against music. Why you ask?" He says, "I want to hear some music." I says, "Well, I guess we can make part of that your medicine today." So I'm wondering, what am I going to play? This is an unusual request for a patient.
Okay.
So I thought, I have Apple Computer, so I went onto my iTunes. Tried to find something quick because, he's only got a certain amount of time in my office before the next person.
Yeah.
So something says, look at the Three Blind Boys. And I looked, and it says, Love Lifted Me. I played Love This, and he got to just jumping and rocking and rocking.
A new kind of therapy, huh?
I said, he really enjoys this. So I finished giving him his treatment. I took him to put him on the table to give him some physio treatment. So I says, "You really like my music. What did you get out of it?" He said, "I got so much out of it, I can't explain it. Will you explain it to me?" I said, "Yes, I'll explain it to you. When love lifts you, you don't need an escalator, nor an elevator. You only need an inspirator." And he jumped up on the table, he does all the can say, "You're my inspirator."
So hence he doesn't motivate, he inspirates.
So that's what
He inspires.
inspire.
Yeah, inspire.
And we have to inspire each other.
Yeah.
Because when we motivate, we blow them up, and as a balloon, it slowly deflates. But when you're inspired, you just soar and soar and soar.
Keep on soaring.
And I think that's where we are today with the world as it is in such chaos. That you need to feel inspired so that you can push past all the minutia that you see every day, and there's so much coming at us from everywhere. So you have to be able to concentrate on something that inspires you to still keep going on and to want to be, greater. Like Deirdre here, she was inspired after getting a cancer diagnosis that, this is not the last part of my story. I'm going to get well, and I'm going to do something bigger and better. And that's what she's done with creating her product. Yeah. And at the same time creating awareness for other people that are going through, treatment.
And I heard her say that, and I admired that, because when I hear people talk, they inspire me, because I've been a reader all my life. My library was worth lots of money in my early 30s. But one thing that I'd like to share about the statement that you just made, that the caterpillar thought that life was over until it turned into a butterfly. And we must know that we are always transforming into our greater good.
Yeah, and that's fantastic. I love that.
I think that's an excellent point, and an excellent point to end the show on today.
Yeah.
This is amazing. And for those of you who are listening, these are powerful words. And as entrepreneurs, we need what we're hearing today to help us in our journey, to transform ourselves, to get to the next level of our business operation, and this is perfect.
Yeah.
This is
and
perfect.
are you a practicing doctor? Do you take patients?
Yes.
Okay.
Appointments only.
Appointment only. So how would one reach you?
323-899-1411.
Okay, and you are what type of doctor?
Naturopath.
A naturopath.
That practice Oriental medicine, homeopathic medicine, herbal medicine, nutrition. If it's one of the natural health modalities, if it's a part of the American Indian medicine wheel, or if it's Ayurvedic medicine, Oriental medicine, Islamic medicine, Tib, or Hakim, I've studied or certified in most of those natural modalities.
And just remember, to get more on this information, you can go to YouTube and type in The Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, and you'll be able to see this show. You can get a copy of this show by going online and downloading it This is very powerful information, and we really, really thank you for being here today.
I thank you for the invitation.
Yes,
Thank you
this is
so
great.
much. You can also find the show on YouTube live on the Morris Media Studios and Facebook. It's on my Facebook, Crystal Mitchell. And Recycling Black Dollars. You'll find it there on the
and on the Business Zone.
And the Business Zone. So just if you're looking for us, just type in the Business Zone. Just type it in Google, and it'll pull up wherever we are.
Yeah.
All our social media.
You'll find us.
And then you can tune in next Friday afternoon from 3 to 5, and we will be here live and in the studio.
That's right.
So you guys have a fantastic week. We are moving into October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And actually, I think pancreatic cancer or prostate cancer, a whole bunch of awarenesses that we need to be worried about to know.
All kinds of cancer.
Next month. So we will see you guys next week. Have a fantastic week.
As a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program, and control. Hey, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Got my capability statement, yes, I'm ready to go. Got my balance sheet, my P&L, my statement of cash flow. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Got my capability statement, yes, I'm ready to go. Got my